Welcome. In this video we're talking about how to use Cisco Packet Tracer at a very basic level. I'm assuming it's already installed, so let's go ahead and get it opened. Once you open it, you should be brought to a login screen. You are required to log in. This will be the same information you use to log into your Netacad account. Once you get logged in, you'll have access. So, brief overview of using Packet Tracer. One of the things that I tell people is look at preferences, look at what options you have. One of the ones that I normally want to turn on is show device labels and show device name. Those are the big two. So down here bottom left are the important ones. We have our networking devices, we have our in devices, and we have our wiring. You'll notice under each section we have sub-menus. So with networking devices we have routers, switches, hubs, wireless devices, security, and we have cloud options or WAN emulators. Most of what we're going to be doing is going to be with our routers and switches. So let's go ahead and drag a router up on our desktop, on our working area. So I'm going to mouse over the device. It will have 3 gigabit ports. It will have a VLAN, and it's called hostname router. I click on it. I want to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. This is what the device looks like. Well, the problem is, in our courses, we use a lot of serial connections. This does not have a serial connection. Our NIM2T, this is what it looks like, provides 2 serial connections. Well, we need to add it. Well, you can't add it while the device is on, so let's go ahead and turn the device off, add it, and then turn the device back on. That gives us those additional 2 serial ports. You'll now see that it shows serial 0/1/0 and serial 0/1/1. Also, when we're looking at this type of screen, we have a configuration tab. We don't want our configuration tab to be used. We want to focus on our CLI. CLI will help build muscle memory, so it becomes very helpful. Yes, you can cheat by using the config, but long term, this actually is a disservice. So next, I want to add a switch. Normally, we're going to be using a Cisco 2960 or some type of 3560. So I'm going to add a switch. So how do we cable it up? Now, you know what? I'm also going to add a computer. So we have a router, a switch, and a computer. The lightning bolt by itself is auto cabling. Do not use that. Cisco Packet Tracer doesn't always work very well with that. So we actually want to look at what cables we have here. So if you mouse over them, it will tell you. And it's supposed to tell you. So this is right down here, and this is the bottom center, is where it tells you. Here we have our console cable, here we have a straight through, here we have a crossover, and here we have our serial cables. Those are the big ones we're going to be using. I actually want to get 2 routers going because I want to show you the serial cables. So let's go ahead and wire up our Ethernet, our straight through cabling. So you click on straight through, click on the device. What port do you want to plug it into? We want to go fast Ethernet. What port on the switch do we want to plug it into? Be careful, you can plug it into the wrong port. Console's an Ethernet port, and that won't allow for connectivity. We want to go ahead and plug it into Ethernet 1. You'll notice it lists the port numbers because we set our preferences. You'll notice it's an orange dot because it's still learning how to do the connectivity. Just got to give it some time. I want to wire between the switch and the router. I'm assuming we're going to be using our gigabit interface, and I will wire that to our gigabit 000 interface. By default, router interfaces are all turned off. That's why we are getting red here. They are turned off. This is where I will say the configuration tab does come in handy. I want to just quickly turn them on. And I want to turn on my serial interfaces. Instead of having to code it, I can just do that and it does the code for me. And if I go to my CLI, it actually does all that coding for me. But when you're learning this, you want to be able to do their coding yourself. You want to build that muscle memory. Notice we have a green triangle now. That means basic connectivity between them are functioning. We have no addressing, so we won't be allowed to actually communicate over the wire just yet. We just have basic electrical connectivity at this point. So how do we go between our two routers? That's where our serial cable comes in. Our serial cable cannot get plugged into a Ethernet port. And I'm going to do a separate video later explaining why. So let's go ahead and plug our serial 010 cable in, and we're going to connect it up here to our serial 010 also. This router is turned on. This router is not turned on. So we're going to go ahead and get that turned on. To provide that basic connectivity. Last thing, so that's our basic wiring. If we add in an additional PC and we are wiring between a router and a computer, we use a straight through. And I do a lecture on why we do this later. But again, that is how we do our basic wiring in Packet Tracer. If you plug something into the wrong port, if you click on the cable, you can plug it back in, and then it will relearn that connectivity. I did forget one thing. So, if you are doing Packet Tracer files from Cisco, you still have to log in. I'm already logged in because I did the custom one that I just showed you. But with Cisco's packet tracers, you end up with a work file. So this work file will give you the steps. On custom packet tracer files, you may not always get the activity. So here's a lab environment, and here are the steps on what to do. And you'll also have a check results if you're getting packet tracers from Cisco Netacad. Normally, when you have a regular lab, you do the lab, you do all the steps, you get to the very bottom. Some of them may have questions. At the very end, you'd click check results. On some packet tracers, you'll get a score report. On the earlier beginning packet tracers, you don't. I wanted to point that out so that you know that when you get a packet tracer file, if there are instructions, they should pop up. If you're doing a custom packet tracer file, you may end up with just instructions on the screen. Thank you.